I have said this before, but I really want to make a video just dedicated to this chief topic. In order to understand ourselves, who we actually are, we have to be alone with ourselves. There's no getting around that. There just isn't. We have to spend time, almost strategically, in solitude, just alone with ourselves, just sitting. Again, that quote by Blaise Pascal, right? All of man's problems stem from his inability to sit in a room by himself. Some may think that an exaggeration, oversimplification. Can they sit in the room by themselves? Can people who would criticize that, do they know themselves? I'm not trying to insult them, but I want to make it abundantly clear the importance of solitude cannot be overstated, and it cannot be blown off either. We need to be alone for a period of time to really understand what it is that we want and what it is that we don't want. What kind of life have we been living? Are we living according to what we want to do, according to who we really are, or have we taken on societal programming? Have we let those around us, our parents, our family, our friends, significant others, spouses, strangers, have we let all of them dictate who it is that we are? As if we have, we got no one to blame but ourselves. There's no point passing the buck if you gave them the power to do that. The only way you're ever going to find out if you relinquish your own inner power is by rediscovering that power. By sitting down and saying, you know what? Who even am I? Who am I being? Who am I right now? Who do I want to be? That's a that's an interesting question, but it's also a distinctly individualistic one. Only you can answer that question. Only I know who I want to be. Only you know who you want to be. Everybody has guesses. Everybody can give their opinions unsolicited. They have no problem doing that. But opinions are opinions, and facts are facts. Who you are to you, that is a fact. That's gospel for you. That's a testament to you, by you, about you, for you, to serve you, regardless of what anybody else may or may not think. All due respect. Doesn't change the fact of the matter. In order to actually see ourselves, we have to be by ourselves. And I'm not saying you can ever, again, it's not about deliberately or periodically, chronically isolating yourself for no reason. Okay, you do this to uncover self-knowledge, self-discovery. That's why I said it was strategic. It's it's purposeful, right? Teleological. There's a reason that you're doing it. That reason has to be kept in the center of your mind as the action is being completed. It's very easy to give into all this noise. This world's very loud. It's unnecessarily loud. Then again, perhaps it is necessarily loud. Perhaps all this noise forces us to go into the silence, the stillness, and actually see who we were being this entire time. I don't know. It's easy to hypothesize and wax poetic, but it doesn't change the kernel of the matter, or the object of the discussion at hand. Solitude is a requisite for self-actualization. Periods of solitude are absolutely integral to the evolution of your own soul. I stand by that as a fact, as a matter of principle. And as much as it pains me at times, I do live by that principle. I can do nothing else. God won't let me at this point. And in a way, I'm grateful because there's a lot of things I didn't want to see about myself, a lot of things I would have rather denied or even chosen not to process. That's probably a better way of stating it. That's a non-starter, though. If you want to actually see you got to see the good, the bad, and the ugly. And then you discover that there is no good, bad, and ugly. It all just is. And you describe your own meaning to it. But in order to get to that point, right, you have to actually face that pain. Nobody wants to do that. I didn't want to do that. You probably don't want to do that. It's not fun. It isn't a fun thing to do. It's painful. It feels like you're like again. It almost feels like you're being born, but this time instead of being a like not remembering and being a baby, you're fully aware of the pain of like coming into existence. If I had to describe that in an illustration, that's what I would say. Excruciatingly painful at times. This is the price one must pay for individualization. This is the price one must pay for discovering your own soul and living according to it. You can't get something for nothing. Everything follows equivalent exchange. That's another anime reference. I think y'all know what I'm talking about. FMA Brotherhood in the chat. You know what I mean? It's good to joke about it, but it has to be remembered. It has to be remembered when we do it. And don't be discouraged by that because if you're know that if you're experiencing that pain, you're actually processing it. Like you've actually managed to process it. That's a win, man. Brothers and sisters, that is a win. We have to start somewhere. We have to begin at some point on our own journeys. Nobody's going to do it for us. There have been people, and there will continue to be people, that almost serve as guides, mentors. They push you on. They encourage you to be you. And I've had that. And it's a beautiful thing. It really is. Those people are few and far between. And even they can't do it for you. They cannot do it for you. You got to do it for yourself. Sometimes it takes just walking away from everything for a bit, being by yourself, really looking at who you've been. What kind of role have you been playing, right? Is it faithful to your own spirit? Is it indicative of the life that you believe you were put on this earth to live? What life do you believe you were put on this earth to live? Do you even know? Are all the opinions that you have of yourself, listen to this now, all the opinions that you have of yourself, secondary? Have they been given to you by someone else? By something else? By an external authority? Disregard all of that for a moment. Just for a brief moment. Disregard all of it. Who do you say that you are? I am. Finish the sentence. I am. That's you speaking for you. Nobody's putting words in your mouth now. The answer has to come from you. That's the only way it'll ever be real. That's the only way it'll ever be authentic. It has to be yours. It has to be your own. Such a process can only really begin in the periods of solitude. We're forced. See, at that point, we are forced to confront ourselves, to really see for the first time, maybe, what we even are, what we're even doing. It's so easy to live your whole life completely unconscious. I'm not gonna lie to you. That's what I think the vast majority of people out here are doing. Completely unconscious. They're they're blind. They're deaf. Allegorically, metaphorically. That's no way to live. You're already dead. You might as well not even be alive. You're no different than a zombie, except for appearance, maybe. I say that as somebody who tried my utmost hardest, to live that life because I didn't want to face the pain. I did not want to face my own pain. Every single chance I get, every single chance I got, excuse me, I ran. I ran and I ran and I ran. And I kept running in circles. And I kept going back to the starting point. And I kept going back to the place where I began. So finally, God basically showed me that's not the life I was called to live. I can't live an unconscious life. Even if I want to. That's not an option for me. It just isn't. I have to face my own pain. I have to process that. I have to not be defeated by it, but be sculpted by it. Let it mold me into the man I was always really meant to become. The man that I was born to be. Pain is a great teacher in that regard. But it's not a gentle one, to be sure. I'm sure all of you know that. There's just no getting around it. If we want to live a conscious life, if you want to live a life according to our own values, our own beliefs, our own sovereignty, a life truly faithful to who we were meant to be, a life truly authentic to the one individual that we were always born to be. We have to understand that in solitude when we are alone. And we can go back out in the world and we can interact with the world in a more authentic way. And people will be able to sense that. They're not going to be able to articulate it. It's hard to articulate that kind of sensation. It's not, I don't really think it's meant to be articulated. I think it's really just meant to be experienced. That's my opinion. But they will, you'll notice that. People can act a little differently around you. Maybe strange. Maybe they're very warm and welcoming to you. It just depends on the individual. No shame, no condemnation. That's not what we're here to do. We're here to learn who it is that we are. We're here to live as faithful sons and daughters of the Most High. To do this, we must discover who the Most High intends us to be. We must not shrink from this or do what I did and try to run from it. Such efforts are entirely futile and they are in vain. They will not work. If we are on this journey, we are on the journey. We must walk the path, one foot in front of the other, one step at a time. The Lord will not leave us. The Lord will not forsake us. He will not abandon us. But we have to walk that path. We can't be afraid to be alone, brothers and sisters. That's where true individuality is built. Solitude as an instructor. Not a foe, an ally, a friend even, a teacher. Not a crutch either, or a cope. Purposeful, meaningful, because it means something to you. In your own actual inner spirit. That's why I wanted to come on here and say today. Embrace the moments of solitude and learn from them. You'll find that you'll learn a lot and understand even more about yourself. Thank you all. God bless each and every one of you. And as always, you already know it's coming. Remember who it is that you are. And be proud of it. God bless.